everyone! Today I'm going to tell you how our body protects itself against the viral infection, what are the antibodies and how they work, and also what kind of tests allow our scientists and doctors determine if the person was infected by coronavirus or not.
So corona is a virus. And virus is a very small particle that you can never see with the naked eye. You can inhale it through your mouth or nose and you won't even notice. However, these small particles are quite dangerous because they carry weapons with them. These weapons, viruses use to damage our body and to make more and more copies of themselves. This activity of virus and their weapons is what causing a disease. But our body will not give up without a fight. It has a special protective system called antibodies. Antibodies are generated by our body in order to bind to viral weapons. This binding is very tight, and once antibodies are bound to the weapon, it's very hard to separate them again. This binding makes weapons inactive and thus stops the disease and we become healthy again. What is also interesting about this antibody system is the fact that actually there are lots and lots of different viruses around us, and each of them carry different weapons. And our body is able to develop antibodies against every single weapon. It's like sheathing a sword, making it safe so you can't cut yourself again. What we also need to know is that antibodies are very specific, which means that the antibody that was developed against this weapon and this virus will not work against that weapon and that virus. What makes this system even greater is that even when the weapons are not in our blood anymore and the disease is over and the virus are cleared, antibodies can stay in our blood for days or weeks or even longer to keep protecting us. So if the same virus will appear again, it will be quickly defeated. So, what have we learned about antibodies so far? They protect us. They bind to the weapons. They are specific, and the antibodies against one virus will not work against the other, and also they stay in blood. All these properties of the antibodies allow us to perform a test called ELISA, which allow us to figure out if the person was infected by the virus or not. How does this work? Imagine two people. We don't know which of them was infected and which of them wasn't. They both have no symptoms and no disease. But if we take the blood from them, the person who was infected will have antibodies against corona in his blood, while the person who wasn't infected will have nothing. To perform a ELISA test, we would need special tubes. Those tubes are covered by corona weapons. Yeah, just like that. The first step of the ELISA test is adding blood. If there are antibodies in the blood, they will interact with the weapon and form those very strong complexes that we discussed before. The second step is washing. In this step, you take the blood away, but since the complexes of weapons and antibodies are so strong, the antibodies will stay. The third step is making a color reaction. During this step, you add a special solution in the tube. If there are no antibodies, nothing will happen, and then you will know that this person was not infected by corona. However, if there are antibodies in the tube, the solution will change color, and then you will know that this person was infected by corona. So this is how the test works.
So I hope you learned something interesting today. Stay healthy.